Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again with our follow-up video for the Elementalist Ellie hit Wanda, which as I mentioned is the second time around I'm playing the character, but there were some nerfs involved with Ellie hit and I guess Point Blank and a few other things that did make it a bit more of a challenge to play this time around, but I wasn't really deterred to begin with, and that's why I just went in and made it anyway, because it was a very fun character last time, and a very successful one, I thought. This time around, it's a little bit weirder. It's still pretty damn good for clear, as you'll see in the next couple minutes. It shreds maps like damn near nothing else, but that is largely thanks to some explosion chest scaling with a Crown of Eyes and with the Elementalist damage. And it's really effective for some tougher maps that do have Beyond and Simulacrum sort of style, just non-stop monsters everywhere. But the single target doesn't feel quite as good as last time, probably largely due to some of those nerfs and also the buffing of the endgame content health, because I do have to make a bit of a swap from time to time from the GMP and the Pierce that I'm using into, currently it's Energy Leech, I think, and Slow Approach. I can't even remember. Hypothermia, that's it. And it's a bit awkward having to make two swaps, and even then, you're still kind of at the whim of your high rolls on damage. So for a lot of the bosses in the end that you see in the last few minutes, it's like very dependent up to whether or not you're hitting your double damage rolls from the focus, if you're shocking things real well, if you're getting all the elements up. So when it works and when it happens, then you get some really good chunky damage, but when it doesn't, it feels a bit low and flat, especially for something at this point that should be pretty finely tuned and min-maxed to the point where you should be doing a lot better damage, I think. At least that's been kind of my experience with Ellie hit right now with Elemental Equilibrium. Probably just much better off going a pure fire damage scaling sort of thing that can do a lot more damage. But you can see that the clear is pretty damn nuts for Simulacrum and large scale combat like this, so I did do it all the way up to wave 20, absolutely no problem. The actual sort of survivability of the build isn't too bad. I didn't end up finishing crafting a couple of my gear pieces, so I didn't actually get over 7,000 ES, even though it's very well achievable, at least with the harvest crafting. But the other thing is that it doesn't really feel good until you min-max all the way as well. So there was this period where for a few levels, maybe from like level 85 to about 91 to about 90, something like that, when I was getting to high tier red maps and I was yet to be min-maxed and it wasn't feeling all that good. Once I got like the shield finished with a bunch of spell damage, and once I got a level 21 gem, that's when everything started to really take off and feel a lot better, but ultimately still not that worthwhile. This is an example of the all kill that I ended up doing, so it's a depth 360, something like that, with increased area, onslaught, projectiles, and reduced Ellie damage, so Ellie resist on him. So it is a bit of a tough all for my character, but it did end up going down after, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 goes, because it was kind of a tough one for my character's lineup. It's mostly the increased area that really fucks us. In any case, yeah, I'm not too convinced that this character is the play at the moment. You could probably get plenty of characters that clear very well but have much better single target, while this does clear really nicely and it is fun to play a Wanda in this day and age. I'm not too sure it's that worth copying anymore, and ultimately golems can still die sometimes as an elementalist, so if you really don't like golems, you probably still won't enjoy them. I did end up attaching minion life to them, not meat shield, can't really fit any more in, and in the Awakening 8 Cirrus that you're about to see, the golems do die from time to time, and I don't think that's really something you can do much about, especially in the last phase. They're just going to die eventually. Most other content they survived on just fine, so it wasn't that bad. It wasn't like a real nuisance to have golems, but when you can build a character without them and just not need to worry about golems, it's probably better to do so. So I'll give you just the last little wrap up here with a Cirrus 8 kill. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Leave golems alone. Nah. They're not having fun. If they had meat shield up, then yeah, they'd probably be okay. But as it stands, with their AI, they just like fucking sit and shit. They don't give a fuck. Like, oh yeah, that thing's killing me. Zzz, dead. The entire team's just like, this looks like a good idea. Okay, so one of them's down. Don't have time to resummon him at the moment though. And more down. It might just straight up be better to replace minion life with meat shield. Could try that as well. Because, yeah, minion life just might not be worth enough compared to making their AI a lot better. And they also get tankier with meat shield. I might die here. Who's dead? He is. And they eat that corrupted blood from the beams too. They just take it. And I haven't pressed flasks yet either, which doesn't help. Because the consecrated ground helps a lot. So, that's part of it. Maybe the last phase won't be as bad. Golem's guaranteed to die in this last phase. It's just how many times I have to resummon them and stuff. Stop. Get a little bit of deeps. Alright, so golems are dead now. They just died at this beam hard. Damn dude, I can't even resummon them right now. Who's not up? Look at him! They're standing directly in the center of the fucking beam! A low IQ play, dude. I figured I could just sit through the beam and finish him off, but holy shit, I didn't know it slowed my attack speed as well. And, like, phased you that hard. There you go. I learnt. That at 1%. It would have been so incredibly easy to sidestep for a second and finish the fight afterwards. But I just thought, nah, I'll be fine to just finish him off. Beam shouldn't be that bad. It slows attack speed. I didn't fucking know that. I just thought it slowed movement speed. And the saddest loot in the universe once again.